You believe you are breathing. Right now, as you sit there, your chest rises and falls. It feels natural. It feels like life. But look closer. Look beneath the skin. You are not breathing. You are only surviving. Every shallow intake of air you take is not just inefficient. It is an accumulated debt, a biological overdraft that your body is desperately trying to manage. You think you are tired because of your job, because of stress, because of age, but the truth is much darker. You are quietly, unknowingly, starving your deep biological systems. Watch the chest. Observe the mechanics of modern survival, a frantic, shallow pattern, a sudden gasp that fills only the absolute top fraction of your lungs. The lower lobes, the massive, rich reservoirs designed to fuel your cellular engine, remain completely dark, untouched, stagnant. Modern life has folded you forward. Looking at screens, sitting in chairs, your posture has locked your diaphragm in a cage of tension. And because of this, your biology is operating on the absolute minimum. You are rationing air inside your own body. The consequence of this rationing does not stay in the lungs, it spreads. The vascular networks, the sprawling, intricate highways designed to carry the bright spark of life, begin to dim. Look at the extremities. The hands, the joints, the knees. Without a deep, powerful flood of oxygen, the blood cannot sustain its energy. The bright red flow turns to a cold, pale blue. Your brain and your core organs demand whatever oxygen is left, and so they steal it from your limbs. Your body is making a ruthless calculation to keep you alive, leaving your outer edges cold, stiff, and starved. This is not fatigue. Stop calling it fatigue. This is slow-motion starvation. Zoom in, past the veins, past the muscle fiber, down into the very power plants of your cells, the mitochondria. They require a constant, heavy stream of oxygen to burn fuel, but when you breathe shallowly, the fuel runs out. Watch them flicker, watch them dim, watch them extinguish entirely. Whole sections of your cellular infrastructure are shutting down. You are literally eroding from within. This is the oxygen debt. It is a ledger that keeps track of every shallow breath you have taken for the last 10 years. You wake up exhausted after 8 hours of sleep. You rely on caffeine to force your heart to beat faster. But stimulants cannot replace oxygen. They only whip a tired horse. The question is not how you breathe right now. The question is, how long can your biological architecture hold up under the weight of this debt? The signs are already there. You just haven't been listening. A sudden wave of exhaustion at 2 p.m. A strange, unexplainable ache in the back of the neck. A moment where you walk into a room and completely forget why you are there. You dismiss these as normal. You accept them as the cost of getting older. They are not normal. They are warning sirens from a biological machine that is operating on 10% battery. Nowhere is the debt felt more immediately or more violently than here. Your brain is only 2% of your body weight, yet it demands 20% of your oxygen supply. It is a massive, greedy, beautiful engine, but right now, it is being rationed, forced to survive on scraps. Look at the frontal cortex, the center of your personality, your focus, your memory. As the oxygen levels drop, the warm glow of neural activity fades into a cold, terrifying blue. This is what brain fog looks like beneath the skin. It is not a psychological state. It is a physical dimming of your neural pathways. Watch as a single thought, a single memory, tries to travel across a starved synapse. It struggles, it slows, it dies in the dark. When you cannot focus, when your words slur, when your creativity vanishes, it is because whole sectors of your brain are powering down to conserve energy. And as the brain suffocates, panic sets in. To compensate for the shallow, useless breaths, the heart is forced to intervene. It shifts into a state of chronic emergency. Look at the mechanical strain. It beats faster. It works twice as hard, desperately trying to pump a liquid that carries less and less life-giving fuel. This is where your unexplained anxiety comes from. Your heart is pounding, not because you are afraid, but because your biology is suffocating. Under this immense pressure, the blood itself changes. Deprived of rich oxygen, it loses its vital fluidity. It becomes heavy, sluggish, thick. It transforms from a rushing river of life into a slow-moving tide of cellular exhaust. It cannot clear the toxins. It cannot deliver the nutrients. Your heart is pushing mud through your veins. Move down to the muscles. You feel that constant, heavy knot between your shoulder blades, the tightness in your lower back that never goes away. You call it stress. You try to massage it away, but you cannot massage away cellular starvation. Look at the fibers, locked in a state of rigid panic. Without oxygen, the muscles cannot clear lactic acid. They freeze. They calcify. They become a hardened armor of pain, purely because they cannot breathe. When the body believes it is suffocating, it makes sacrifices. Digestion requires massive amounts of energy and oxygen. So, the body shuts it down. Look at the abdominal cavity. The glow fades to black. The constant, renewing movement halts. When you live in the oxygen debt, your metabolism slows to an absolute crawl. Nutrients pass through unabsorbed. Waste sits stagnant. The core of your vitality turns into a cold, dark void. Deep within the tissue, on a microscopic level, your cells are gasping. They are waiting for a flood of fresh air that never comes. Watch the final flicker. The moment a cell surrenders to the debt, it simply switches off. Multiply this by billions, happening every second of every day. This is the true definition of rapid aging. You are not just getting older, you are fading out. You cannot live in the debt forever. Eventually, the biological ledger balances itself. The body demands payment. It manifests as a heavy, unbreakable lethargy, a persistent brain fog that ruins your mornings, an inescapable exhaustion that no amount of sleep can cure. You reach the absolute breaking point, the edge of the biological cliff, but the architecture can be reset. The starvation can be completely reversed, and it begins with a conscious mechanical shift. Watch. The diaphragm drops, the ribs expand, and for the first time in years, the biological floodgates open. Deep, deliberate, diaphragmatic breathing. Pure, rich, dense oxygen rushes into the lower lobes of the lungs, the forgotten reservoirs of life. Instantly, the chemical reaction occurs. The toxic blue is eradicated. The blood is transformed. It becomes highly oxygenated, electric, and powerful. The overworked heart finally relaxes, pushing a massive, golden tide of life back into the starving systems. The heavy, oxygen-rich blood hits the brainstem. The fog does not just lift, it burns away instantly. Neural pathways that have been trapped in the dark for years suddenly reignite. Millions of synapses fire in perfect synchronization. Memory returns. Razor-sharp focus is restored. The psychological weight of the debt is shattered by a wave of pure biological electricity. The debt is paid. The lactic acid in your muscles is flushed away. The rigid, calcified tension melts. The digestive tract awakens from its slumber, radiating heat and energy. Look at the whole machine, from the base of the spine to the tips of the fingers. The cold, suffocating blue is gone. You are flooded with light. Your entire biological machine has returned to peak efficiency. This feeling of power, this profound clarity, this is not a temporary fix. This is your true baseline. This is the state of existence your body was originally designed for. You hold the control panel to your own physiology. With a single, conscious breath, you can shift from survival to absolute mastery. Do not return to the debt. Your body is a masterpiece of engineering, a machine constantly waiting for the right fuel. When you change how you breathe, you change how you live on a cellular level. Master your biology. Look beneath the surface. Subscribe to uncover the hidden mechanics of your body. And remember, breathe deep.